I'm John Rohde with the Oklahoman. There's been an implosion at OU basketball.
I'm Barry Trammell, and I think the Sooners can recover rather quickly. Live from the Opubco studios in Oklahoma City, this is Press Row. And John, we don't see implosions like this very often, where a team goes from Elite Eight to a disappointing year to nobody's left on the roster.
Yeah. And here's the deal, Barry. Usually you say, hey, they can turn it around quickly, get 2 or 3 parade All-Americans in there, and everything will be great. Well, that's what caused this problem, Barry. So chemistry is a tough thing. Sometimes you can't explain when it works, and you often can't explain when it doesn't.
Well, you're right, and the chemistry problem is all on Jeff Capel's shoulders. That's his mission to set up a roster that can be cohesive and work together. But I don't think it's an impossible mission to rebuild this Oklahoma basketball team. This is not football where you got to have 10, 15, 20 solid recruits 1, 2, 3 years in a row. Basketball, 1 or 2 guys can turn it around. So I'm not talking about Oklahoma making the Sweet 16 next year. I do think with some solid wisdom, some good recruiting decisions, that the Sooners can get back to a competitive level next season. I mean, how much worse can it get? They lost their last 9 this year, so they went 4-12 in the Big 12. I don't think the Sooners can get much worse. I do think it's possible to get better, but it won't be easy.
Well, I'm thinking in the 2 to 3 year range, and right now I'm picking OU dead last next year, Barry. So who do we blame? Is it Capel's fault? I'm gonna say it's the players. Capel last year really impressed a lot of people. I know he had Blake Griffin, and that helped tremendously. But I don't think the guy was smart enough to basically figure out Syracuse in 4 days. And then this year, he's not a smart enough coach to figure out how to beat Baylor or A&M or Tech, for that matter.
Well, I think it's 2 different things. I think strategizing to beat Syracuse and putting together a roster, 2 different things. You might be right, John. It might take 2 or 3 years to restore this. I'll say this. If it takes 3 years, I don't think it'll be Jeff Capel on the job trying to get it done. Stay tuned for further OU basketball coverage every day in the Oklahoman, as well as here on News OK.